Right, it's Fab Poli here. Welcome to another episode of Biz Jet TV. Today we're going to be talking about unruly passengers and air rage. We're going to be getting into that. It's something that's happening a lot on the airlines. And this is another reason to fly private. So let's get into it. So let's look at the stats. Let's look at the reasons. But before we do that, if you've never been on this channel before, it's all about business aviation. I encourage you to click on the notification bell, subscribe to this channel, so you'll then be advised when a new episode is out. We publish every Tuesday and Friday. So let's get into today's episode. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, has just released some interesting figures, and they said that between 2007 and 2017 there have been over 66,000 incidents of unruly passengers on board airliners. This is basically one incident every 1,434 flights. So that's quite a bit. So the question is, why is this happening? Why is this number on the increase? Well, there's a number of reasons. One is the decrease in personal seat space. More airlines now are cramming more seats, trying to, because obviously a seat is a passenger is a ticket is revenue. And not only passengers pay for tickets, but today a lot of airlines sell stuff on the airplane. So if you've got an extra 10 passengers you manage to squeeze onto the flight, there's an extra 10 potential customers you can sell a lottery ticket to, or a piece of duty free, or whatever it may be. So with a lot of people in a confined space up in the air in this metal tube, this does create make some people flip. And today, with the increase of people suffering from dementia and other mental problems, this can cause a problem, because being in this confined space with a lot of other people, particularly people that you don't know, this does make people flip. The other is alcohol. A lot of people don't realize that drinking alcohol at sea level is one thing, and even having had 4 or 5 drinks the night before and then getting on an airplane where suddenly the cabin is at 8,000 feet, because that's what most of these airlines are pressurized at. That means that there's less oxygen in your system. And if you flooded your system with alcohol the night before, that alcohol is going to go to your head a lot more, like 3 to 4 times more than it would on the ground. This is something that a lot of people don't realize. So the other thing is, because of the air in the cabin being very dry, it's very, very important to keep hydrated. You should be drinking more water, and water is the best thing to drink on an airplane to keep yourself hydrated, keep that system going. Because with less oxygen there, your body can, with the water, take oxygen from the water, and that's so important. Because if someone is not hydrated, then that could suddenly make them flip. So these are kind of the reasons why we have this increase in air rage and unruly passengers. And sort of things that people do, violence against crew. They don't, comply with the safety procedures. They start harassing other passengers. There's all sorts of stories. If you go to the website airrage.org, which you can see here, you can read about latest incidents and what's going on. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is because you're probably saying, well, I travel business class. Now and again, I charter a private jet. So, I'm away from all those people on the flight. But what you don't realize, and this has happened to me as an airline captain, you have an unruly passenger in the back, and it's just getting a bit out of hand and a bit unsafe. And so the only option the captain has is to land the airplane. So if you're on your way to Paris for a meeting or a conference or what may be, you have to get in, you got a really tight schedule. If this airplane ends up diverting and landing somewhere else to get this unruly passenger off, the airplane could be on the ground another 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on where it lands, depending if they can get fuel quick, depending if there's a slot to get out of there. Has the airline got an arrangement with a handling agent to pay for landing fees and fuel? That could take time. There's all sorts of problems that happen around the airplane. And so the last thing you want, you've spent a lot of money for this business class flight, but what you don't realize, yes, you are in business class, you've got more space to sit in because you've got a wider seat, and they're serving you nicer food than the guy sitting behind you, but you are on the same airplane in the sky. Even these people that pay, $30,000 to fly from London to Dubai with Emirates in this nice fancy cabin, they're still on an airplane with people that are paying, 1/10 of what they're paying. And one of these people could suddenly flip, and the captain decides to divert, and your meeting that you're flying to has now gone out the window. So this is something that has to be considered, and another reason why more and more people are turning to private jet travel. Even if it means chartering 3 or 4 times a year, because they know they're getting on an airplane either on their own or with, you know, their colleagues, and it's a group of people that they know, everyone's going to behave. And this is really, really important to understand this. So that's really my take on all this thing about unruly passengers. There's been a lot of talk of it in the press lately. I'd like to hear your comments below. So post below, let's get the conversation going. Let's get the conversation flowing. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And that's all from Fab Poli and Biz Jet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.